An Egyptian court has banned virginity tests that the military was conducting against women who would be detained. Now, this is really great news because it's the first time that the court has ruled against the military, but at the same time, this court doesn't actually have any jurisdiction over the military. Now, the interesting thing is, after the military conducted these virginity tests, at first they denied doing them. And then they said, okay, fine, we did do it, but we did it to protect ourselves because we didn't want these women to go off and claim that we raped them.
Oh, right.
Because virginity has anything to do with rape. A virgin can't be raped, right?
Right. Their real reason for doing it was that they wanted to intimidate the protesters. And they've been doing this for a long time. And they used to, of course, do it under Mubarak. And the point of it was if you come out to protest that you are one of these loose women, etc., and that you're going to get groped, and they did. That was other things that they would do. And then sometimes they would rip their clothes off. And obviously there was the famous blue bra woman in the recent round of protests that everybody across the world saw. But the worst of all was the virginity test. Now, how do you think they test your virginity, right?
It's the most degrading thing that you can possibly do to a woman. You take her into a doctor's office and have a doctor check her down there while military officials and other men are standing there watching.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, gee, I wonder if that was done to intimidate them into not protesting. Of course it was. And it was to insinuate that if you're out there protesting with the men, that you're a slut. And it was just hideous. And I, of course, hope that it never comes back and that they can actually enforce this.
Right. And, you know, the blue bra woman incident, I think, really struck a nerve with a lot of people in Egypt. And as you can remember, a day after that occurred, you know, thousands of women took to the streets and they protested against it. And I feel like, and I could be wrong about this, but I feel like at this point, people in Egypt have done a good job in intimidating the military to a certain extent. Because now you have the military kind of like stepping back, denying things, saying, no, we didn't do that, pretending as though members of their military did not do what they did to that blue bra woman. For instance, the media there zoomed in on the members of the military that were dragging that woman, and one of them was wearing white sneakers, and they're like, oh, no, our military men don't wear white sneakers. So it could have been someone posing as a member of the military. So they're trying to deny things at this point. Yeah. But I like that. I like the fact that people are taking to the streets, they're not intimidated by this, and they are in turn intimidating the military members. That is great news.
I guess the Egyptian military said the equivalent of, I would never wear those ugly ass shoes. That's the OJ defense. Okay, so it must not have been me. Yeah, I know. The protesters went out there and beat themselves viciously and dragged each other through the streets in order to set up this conspiracy, right? Yeah, and I'm sure they did the virginity tests on one another too, right? Ridiculous.